Thank you, Mr. Bansal, for inviting me to speak at this occasion. And I can see so many dignitaries on the stage. So, all the dignitaries on the stage, my colleague from my university, Professor Rathore, and other professors, dignitaries here. Given that the time is very short, so in this 5-6 minutes, let me help to give some inputs on this topic, that is on sustainable development goals, and then you have also added management interventions. So I was just thinking what the definitions of sustainable development, what we call development today, can it be sustainable? And what we think is sustainable, will it bring development? This is something which sometimes, bothers me, because the way we are looking at the technological transformation, creating so much of infrastructure all around the world, is it possible that this kind of development, what we define, will bring sustainability? But anyway, I am reminded of my own young days when our grandparents, they would ask us to go near the small pond, because I belong to Kashmir and there are so many springs in Kashmir, and every spring you will find small statue or an idol of a god. Near a tree, you will find something tied around the tree, and in the morning, ladies coming and pouring some water and worshipping around it. So it is very confusing sometimes when you go across the villages. It's very confusing, but then it reminds us that why our ancient people, or why our grandparents would always ask us to go and worship a spring, worship a river, worship a tree, not because there is a God inside it, but because if we don't protect them, we will not be protected in the long run. So protecting a spring, protecting a river, protecting a tree, protecting a mountain is something which will eventually, what we call in Upanishads, yat pinde tat brahmande, means a microcosm is also that macrocosm. So this is what our parents used to. I still remember, at home when we used to cook food, and if something would be left over, it would not be thrown out. Either it would be given to some animal, made sure it is given going to an animal, or my grandmom will make something as different recipe in the morning for the breakfast out of it. I remember toothpaste. When I don't know how many of you have seen, I have seen in my house. When our toothpaste was almost over, so we normally throw it out. My grandmom would cut it, and she would make sure that the next morning when I'm using my brush, I don't waste that small piece of it out of it. Not even the toothpaste, even the toothbrush. I remember when my toothbrush was out of order, now you can't use it. She would break it and use it. अब तो नाड़े नहीं लगाते पजामों में, हम लोग नाड़े लगाते थे. And it would be used to, for putting that inside. फटे हुए कपड़े, पुराने कपड़े, all old clothes, they will never be thrown. My grandmom would make sure तकिया बन जाए उसका, किचन में कोई आइटम ही बन जाए किसी चीज की. सस्टेनेबिलिटी किसे कहते हैं और डेवलपमेंट किसे कहते हैं, हम अपने ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स से सीखते थे, और ये सभ्यता हमारे को, भारत की सभ्यता हमारे को ये चीज सिखाती थी. तो हमें तो ये बताया गया कि भाई वी आर अ माइक्रोकॉस्म पार्ट ऑफ दैट मैक्रोकॉस्म, मतलब ये जो इतना बड़ा ओशन है, वी आर नॉट अ ड्रॉप इन दैट ओशन, वी आर a ocean in that drop itself. हम पूरा खुद ओशन है, ये हमारे को फिलोसफी बताई जाती है, और इसलिए हमको लगता है कि हम जुड़े हैं. I'm connected with you, I'm connected with this plant, I'm connected with this surrounding, I'm connected with nature, and that became our pravati, that became our personality. But somewhere पिछले 100 सालों में और पिछले 2000-3000 सालों में अगर आप कंपैरिजन करोगे, जितने वॉर्स, जितनी किलिंग, जितनी डिस्टर्बेंस, जितनी डिस्ट्रक्शन हमने पिछले 100-150 सालों में की है, दैट डिस्ट्रक्शन is far far higher than what we have seen in, or we say we are developing, we say education has grown, we say people have got so much of new progress to it, but somewhere there is a conflict. So being in this conference which is talking about sustainable goals, I think इस sustainable goals में जो ये SDG है, जो S है, मुझे लगता है ये sustainable से पहले there should be 2-3 more S's, and the first S is self development. सबसे बड़ी important जरूरत है. Unless we are self-aware and unless we are self-developed, I don't think we can talk about the society outside. It's like the tip of the iceberg. We all want to look good. We all want to look beautiful. We all want to look presentable. But under that presentation, everything is empty. And there is a discord between what we are showing to the world and what is happening inside us. और मैनेजमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन है तो हम इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस की बात करते हैं. So there is a discord between what physically we are talking about, what is on our tongue and what we are communicating, and what's happening inside here or what's happening inside here. ये जो discord है, ये पहला मुझे लगता है reason है towards poor sustainability and towards poor development. I think if we really want to have our sustainable goals developed, I think we must first learn how to develop ourselves. And for that, what I feel is the most important beginning is being aware. जितने सारे यंगस्टर्स हैं, मोबाइल की बात अभी की गई थी. एक छोटा सा उदाहरण मैं आपको देता हूँ. आप लोग व्हाट्सएप के बड़े सारे ग्रुप्स पे रहते होंगे. एंड व्हाट्सएप के ग्रुप्स में इफ समवन राइट्स a little derogatory for you, what is the first thing you will do? The first thing is you will start typing back and you will start, how dare this person can write something nasty about me. Now, this is the first thing that will come to your mind. But imagine if that awareness has gone up, what is the first thing you will do? You may not want to react, or even if you have typed something which is reactionary, you may want to save it in the draft for some time and go around and have a glass of water, take a long breath and come back and then relook at what you have written. Maybe you will cut down the 50% of what you have typed back. And even after that, if the awareness is little better, you may again say, okay, chalo yaar, 10-15 minute baad dekhte hain. Then you will go back and you will again reflect on it. You will again come back. Will you respond with the same content or the same text you have made? No. Most of the people may not, will prefer not to reply. They will pick up the phone and ask, क्या बात है भैया? क्या परेशानी है? क्यों तुम हो रहे हो? So I'm telling you, because there's poor self-awareness, we are not aware about our own emotions, our own reactions, our own responses. We are all worried about what's happening outside, not what's happening inside. I think that is the first beginning for all of us. अगर हम अपनी अवेयरनेस पे ज्यादा ध्यान देंगे, जो आपने सेल्फ मैनेजमेंट का सब्जेक्ट भी ऊपर लिखा हुआ है, आई थिंक सेल्फ अवेयरनेस से ये सेल्फ मैनेजमेंट आएगी. ये सेल्फ मैनेजमेंट से हम सोसाइटी के साथ भी अच्छी एंगेजमेंट करेंगे और जो ये हमारे सस्टेनेबल गोल्स हैं, चाहे वो पॉवर्टी है, चाहे वो हंगर है, चाहे वो हेल्थ है, मेंटल वेलबींग है or responsible consumption hai, I think all that can be affected if our awareness expands. Thank you very much and all the best for your 2 days conference.
Thank you so much, sir, for reminding us that sustainability begins with ourselves. We are also honored to have the presence of our special guest, Dr. G.S. Chauhan, sir.